And today, guys, we have the brand new Nether update beta, guys, for Bedrock Edition. As you can see, Piglins, Hoglins, Warp Forest, Crimson Forest, all kinds of crazy stuff. Changelog, let's discuss right now. Hey there, guys, Skippy here for Room Skippy 6 Gaming. Guys, coming to you from, the new Nether update, Bedrock Beta. Exciting times. Now, I just turned my volume up in the background so you can hear some of the ambiance. This is a crazy seed. Don't ask me what it is. I'm not going to tell you. In this seed, a Warp Forest and a Crimson Forest meet over top of a Nether Fortress. I'm not even joking. Guys, for this one here, big number, 1,104 likes. If you are down with the cause, don't forget to hit me up below. Guys, if you want to stay notified, see right here, of crazy cool Minecraft stuff, that's right, this is the channel too. Ding the bell, get notified of all the videos, and subscribe. Okay, so let's do this, guys. We've been waiting. We knew it was coming. We got all the new Nether update stuff, and we're going to discuss it right here. So the beta is a 1.16.0.51. It is a huge change log. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to read the change log. We're going to go through it now. The link is in the description if you want to go read it yourself, or you could just listen to my handsome voice read it for the next 12 minutes. If not, skip about 13 minutes from now, and we're going to go over all of the different stuff live. Listen to this. And okay, let's jump into the changelog live and right now, guys. We got Minecraft beta 1.16.0.51. It's out now, guys. Changes. Biomes, Nether, biome fog. That's a new thing. There's a fog in the biomes. Biome fog color smoothly blends between biomes smooth. So in the Java, it wasn't so smooth the first one, so they did it better the first time around. Guys, Warp Forest is a new biome. It can be found in the Nether. Warped Nylium carpets, the forest floor, along with all kinds of strange new vegetation. Huge warp fungi make up the trees of this forest, with shroom lights lighting up the fungi canopies. Warped wart blocks can now be cleared quickly using a hoe. A dark blue fog covers the forest. Warped spores spiral and swirl through the air. I made up spiral. The warped forests are strange, but also the least hostile place of the Nether. So I'm pretty sure no negative mobs spawn in there. But yeah, let's keep going down the train here. We got a few pages going on. Crimson Forest, it's kind of the same thing, but blue. Crimson Forest can now be found in the Nether. Crimson Nylium carpets the forest floor, along with all kinds of strange new vegetation. Huge crimson fungi make up the trees of this forest, with shroom lights lighting up the forest canopies. Weeping vines grow from the cave ceilings and huge fungi canopies. Hoglins, Piglins, and zombified Piglins wander these forests. Crimson sporals swirl through the air. Okay, Soul Sand Valley is yet another biome. It's the third biome, yeah, maybe last one, probably. Soul Sand Valleys can now be found in the Nether, an open space made mostly out of soul sand and soul soil. Basalt pillars span from the floor to the ceiling. Ash falls through the air. A light blue glow envelops the valley. Beware of skeletons. Here, skeletons spawn there. Let's go. New blocks in the game. Many new blocks have been added. 2 new non-flammable wood-like materials. Crimson stems and warp stems. Very much like wood. Basalt blocks, you can find them in pillars, but they can be placed in any direction. So they're in the Nether as well. We'll go over all of these. The ground surface blocks, Crimson Nylium and Warped Nylium. New vegetation, Nether sprouts, Crimson roots, and Warped roots. 2 new types of fungi. Crimson fungi, Warp fungi, trying to bone meal. They will grow like trees. Warped warts blocks, weeping vines that grow from the bottom of a block downward. So these are very, very, very much like normal vines. Weeping vines are climbable. The new light source is called Shroom Lights. Added soul soil. Whenever fire burns on soil, it burns with a blue flame. Soul soil can also be used to craft soul torches, and those can be crafted into soul lanterns, all again with a blue light. The wither can now be summoned by using soul soil as the base. Using bone meal on netherrack can spread Nylium. Warped and crimson roots and fungi can be turned into pots. Let's keep going down the trail. We are on number 3. Piglins are an aggressive civilization that lives in the Nether. They mostly hang around the Crimson Forest, but you might find some in the Nether Waste too. Nether Waste is now the old regular Nether. They think of players as target practice and will attack on sight. However, if you're dressed appropriately, wearing gold armor, they will see you as a respectable figure or tolerable at the least. Piglins are suspicious of strangers, and they see you opening a chest, mining a gold block. They will assume you're stealing and treat you accordingly. Piglins love gold and get very distracted by gold items. Gold ingots are currency to piglins, so if you throw ingots at them, right click an ingot to barter for various goods. Piglins sometimes get hungry, and hunt for hoglins for food. At least the results vary. They don't always attack. It's kind of a random thing. Piglins prefer to hunt and fight in groups, and when a fight is happening, everybody wants in, so they kind of get aggroed, I guess, against whatever's happening. Piglins somehow end up in the overworld. They become zombified piglins. So regular old-fashioned piglins, zombie pigmen, don't exist anymore. Piglins are creeped out by soulfire and zombified piglins. They will stay clear whenever possible. Wither skeletons are a historic enemy of piglins and will attack on sight. Baby piglins are not as dangerous. So good. Thank God for that. Baby zombies are like the worst. Hoglins. Hoglins are big aggressive beasts that live in Crimson Forest in the Nether. They attack players on sight, so be careful. They can easily knock you off a ledge. Hoglins drop pork chops, but not willingly. You can breed hoglins by feeding them crimson fungi, but do so at your own risk. Hoglins get hunted by piglins sometimes, but they don't go down without a fight. Despite this, hoglins and pigmen aren't enemies. They are more like an ecosystem. So sometimes they fight, sometimes they don't. They get along, kinda. Baby hoglins like to pretend they are tough, but don't worry, they're more like angry puppies with no teeth. Want to keep hoglins off your back? Pro tip, hoglins hate the smell of warped fungi. So let's keep going. We're almost about halfway there. Not quite, though. Zombified piglins. Zombie pigmen are now known as zombified pigments. They have a weird ear, one ear, that's all. Netherite is a new high-level material. It's basically the new gear. Use it to upgrade your diamond gear. It's way better than diamond. So what Netherite does, Netherite items float in lava so you don't lose all your gear after an unplanned lava bath. Netherite items have a higher enchantment value than diamond, but not as high as gold. Netherite tools work faster and last longer than diamond. Netherite weapons do more damage than diamond. Netherite armor has higher toughness and durability than diamond. Netherite armor gives you knockback resistance, so you barely get knocked back when hit by arrows and such. Netherite blocks can be used as the base of a beacon, and netherite ingots can be used to fuel a beacon. Weird flex. Okay, that's the basically. That's the achievement name. It's really hard to get enough netherite to make a beacon. And it looks cool. How to make netherite. Mine ancient debris from the lower depths of the nether at your own risk. Insurance coverage is not for that. Combine 4 netherite scrap with 4 gold ingots in a crafting table to make a netherite ingot. Refine it into netherite scrap in a furnace or a blast furnace. Then you're going to use these ingots. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell you. We're just going to keep going down the trail. Parody. So there's a bunch of changes in Parody. They did a few of these. We went over some of these in the last beta. So Pufferfish now have a middle inflation state. The Ender Dragon Fireball no longer causes excessive damage. All mobs, including the player, will no longer drown in lava. That means that a potion of water breathing is no longer required for swimming in lava. Passive mobs will now only spawn on blocks they're supposed to. Pumpkins can now be placed without needing support underneath. Fence gates can now be placed without needing support underneath. Enchanted skulls will now have the glow effect when in hand and in the inventory. Flowers can now be removed from flower pots. Dropped items will now turn into a 3D model and spin, just like dropped blocks. Puzzle will be created under spruce trees when mega pine trees are created by the player. That's awesome. I love it. Iron bars will now render the same as Java when in hand and in inventory. Blocks moving underneath top snow now correctly cause top snow to be destroyed. Corrected book render location on lanterns to match Java. Top snow can now be placed on composters and cauldrons. Gas no longer spawn in peaceful mode and will despawn when the difficulty is changed back to peaceful mode. The players can now jump out of water while swimming regardless of look angle. Grindstone now removes repair penalty when removing enchantments. Particle color for Bad Omen is now dark green. Stained glass now displays colors on maps. Woodland Mansion Arena room has incorrect slab floor type. Players now receive conduit power effect when it is raining. Cocoa pods now break when in water. Drowned can no longer drop tridents if they are not holding a trident. Blocks will now lose their waterlogged state when pushed by a piston. Damage bows can now be used to craft dispensers. Despawn rules will have changed closely to match Java despawn rules. This change allows mobs to more consistently spawn around the player and improve the frequency of mobs spawning underground while the player is exploring caves. This is the whole mob spawning thing, as well as trying to farm areas that spawn specific mobs, like, mob farms. Any mob that has been set to persist, tempted, name tagged will never naturally despawn. So your name tagged items will not despawn. All naturally spawning mobs will automatically despawn when they are 54 blocks or further away from the nearest player. Fish, so that's kind of weird. So you're going to have to be within 54 blocks of anything that you're mob farming, which is kind of weird. Further from the nearest player, fish automatically despawn at max range of 40 blocks or further. If mobs spawn between 52 and 40 and 32 and 54 blocks from the nearest player, they must not take damage for 30 seconds, as well as successfully roll a 1 in 800 chance to despawn. Keep going down the train. There's 4 more. We're going to do good. The following mobs do not follow these despawn rules: Wither Boss, Ender Dragon, Evoker, Illager, Vindicator B, Iron Golem, so that's good, Snow Golem, Elder Guardians, Villagers, and Wandering Trader. Sounds updated. They need to make that dang Wandering Trader despawn. Sounds updated. Block sounds for bone blocks, nether rack, soul sand, nether wart, nether bricks, and quartz ore. Flying with an elytra at high speed no longer causes the sound to become jittery. Controls quality of life changes to the inventory screen when using a controller. Controls are now more friendlier and closer resemble the controls when using a mouse and keyboard. You can now strafe downwards in water while swimming by holding a sneak button. The control profile will now properly switch to water controls when getting out of a bed underwater. That's weird. Don't know how that happened, but villages. Players will now reliably raise their popularity within a village. Trading with villagers now correctly increases popularity. Curing a zombie villager now grants additional popularity. Popularity will become more neutral over time. Increased golem spawn rates. Guys, we are excited about this. At least 75% of the villagers must have worked in the past day. Minimum 20 beds. Every villager has a bed. Only 1 golem will spawn for every 10 villagers. Cured zombie villagers as well as nearby villagers now offer discounted trades. Trident enchantments are now offered through trading with villagers. Villagers will no longer become preoccupied with sharing carrots. They don't want to share all their dang carrots. Let's keep going. Zombie villagers will no longer break iron doors. Cured zombie villagers no longer receive XP if they did not have any previously. Villagers no longer close powered iron doors. Villagers no longer run around their house during raids. The raid boss bar will now reappears when returning from a raid from another dimension. Wow, super intense. Curses. Implemented the curse of binding. Implemented the curse of vanishing. Game no longer crashes when the /kill command is used while the Ender Dragon is respawning. Gameplay changes. Knockback resistance is now scale instead of probability. Entities now get pushed by flowing lava, assuming that they don't burn. I don't know, that's a weird one. Minecart hoppers will now drop a hopper item when being destroyed by a ranged attack like a snowball. Placing a block against an interactive block while crouched no longer opens the user interface. Interacting with a minecart hopper now opens the hopper screen and no longer blocks other screens from opening. Fixed armor stands and its contents dropping as items. When broken, when the tile drops rule is false. Fixing players are able to return to the overworld if an end portal is their spawn point. If an end portal is on their spawn point. Enchanted bows no longer consumed when auto-crafting dispensers. Players can no longer breathe underwater when swimming under blocks with a turtle shell equipped. TNT no longer drops as an item when exploded. /locate now correctly displays the nearest structure. Players no longer teleport through partial blocks when relogging. Tools now make noise when they break. State of creative flying now remains. After accessing world settings, players no longer swim through the air as if bubble column glitch is fixed. So corals and coral fans now dropped when mined or with an axe or a shovel. Enchanted with silk touch. Magma blocks can now melt top snow sitting on it. That's cool. Mobs killed by lingering potions will now drop XP and uncommon loot. When the potion came from a player. Shulker boxes can now be undyed in a cauldron. So keep going. Almost there, guys. Dude, we're doing pretty good today. I can't complain. Boats can now move and don't get stuck when on top of partial blocks. Boats no longer continue sliding on bottom half slab. Fire charges are now consumed when used to light campfires. Players no longer displaced into a solid block on respawn by non-solid block, resulting in X-ray vision. Kelp no longer stops growing at too low of a height. Enchantment tables no longer display options with no attached enchant. General. Corrected fishing rods bobbers movement. Large quantities of snow no longer suddenly generate in chunks. Mobs now picking up items and equipped armor. tamed horses can no longer be tempted by food that cannot be used to breed them. Some mobs had a large delay for finding their nearest attackable target, wolves attacking sheep. Enderman can now pick up some of the new nether blocks. Enderman will no longer pick up netherrack. Squid will now spawn more frequently. There's already too many. Ocean cap is now 4 and river cap is 2. Iron golems will now ensure that they can reach a target before choosing to attack it. Jumping animation is no longer broken for horses. Polar bears no longer chases players on its 2 back legs. Sheep no longer eat grass through partial blocks. Fix an issue where Enderman would not attack the player when looked at. Mobs no longer start shaking when entering minecarts. Fish no longer spawn in flowing water. Thank God, man. Come on. That was one of the worst ones there is in the whole world. Walls do not have gaps anymore when stacked vertically. Trapdoor collision now matches visual shape. Paintings can no longer be placed on top of item frames. Cactus blocks will now break when next to lava. Flowers in snow will now break properly and drop the correct item. Falling blocks no longer break when falling on ice blocks and glass. Falling blocks are now broken by partial blocks that are placed above piston arms facing up. Mycelium no longer wrongly turns dirt due to having enough light. Last but not least, last page, guys. Come on, it's a small one too. User interface. The player can no longer type beyond what can be seen in the book and quill. Adjusted text hover position in inventory to respect input mode. Controller mode should now hover text edge currently selected element. Carve tooltip is now displayed when pointing shears at a pumpkin. Tooltip is now leaving boat for consistent across platforms. Added grow tooltip when pointing bone meal at compatible blocks. And so grow is going to say on the screen. Can no longer accidentally open the keyboard when book and quill with touch controls. Fire on half slabs is now visible. Changed Eye of Ender explode particles to match Java. There's also an issue with villagers, guy, that aren't reaching their job site. This is a thing. They're working on it. It's going to be fixed for the next update. So let's jump in and take some looks. Okay, so that was a mouthful, but we are back and ready to attack. So guys, really cool stuff. Like I said, okay, so let's just go over the biomes. The Soul Sand Valley is actually much more rare than you would imagine. Look at how awesome this is. Tell me this isn't cool. Everybody's going to be like, Skipping, what's the seed for this? And I'll share it with you one day. Yeah, so Soul Sand Biome, we're going to go over the Warped Forest. So Crimson Forest, Warped Forest is basically the same thing, but one's red and one's blue. The blue one is more peaceful. The red one is more deadly with the mobs spawning. Soul Sand Valley looks like this. I'm just going to show a screenshot on the screen. It has like a blue tone to it, has fossils. They're a lot more rare to find. Out of them all, I feel like the Crimson Forest is the easiest one to find. I found tons of them. And the Blue Forest second and Soul Sand Valley much more rare. The Soul Sand Valley is pretty unique, you know, blue fire, stuff like that, but nothing much more to see other than that picture and skeletons spawning. So these two forests right here, we're going to go through basically blue and red. So what you're going to see here is I'm just going to show you inside the actual thing here. So let me show this right here. So basically what you will see is Crimson Stem, Warped Stem. So basically Crimson and Warped Stem are the versions of wood. They're technically wood. And then there's going to be every version of them in stone, like in wood blocks basically. So steps, all of that. So we can see right here for Crimson, you can see all of the reddish kind of wood with regards to doors, trapdoors, half slabs, stripped, signs, buttons, and trapdoors. And the same thing with Warped. So Warped just means blue, and you can see again different style fences, fence gates, doors, stuff like that. In addition to this, we could go through and you can actually, bone meal these bad boys. You can bone meal these guys as well, and they'll grow into the trees. So basically they're trees. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really see another way to say it other than they're trees. And let's go over here. Bang, bang, bang. The one thing you need to know for sure is that they need to grow on their own version. So basically a Crimson can grow on Crimson like this, but a Warped can't grow on this one right here. So you're gonna have to actually, I guess, so they're gonna do that in the next update. I think that you'll see there's a few things that I seen on Java them switch, just like smithing tables, guys. Smithing tables will have a use with these netherite items. However, in this version they don't. They are going to probably next beta because they came in the second snapshot. So let's keep going. Wearing gold items, wearing gold stuff is going to make it so that piglins do not attack you. They are not gonna be most likely to attack you you when you're wearing gold stuff because they have respect for you some weird way, shape, or form. And you can also trade with the piglins. There is no zombified piglin. There is no zombie pigman anymore, guys. This is the thing. There is no more zombie pigman. I'm not sure if I could actually trade. Let's see where they are. I wonder if they're gonna be angry or what. But yeah, you can see he just gave me a flint and steel, and now he gave me a something else and an obsidian. But you can see, yeah, they like it. Number 2, from what I understand, they like gold items. So I hope that this acts in the exact same way as well. Is if you throw it on the ground, see, it picks it up. And then he runs away. So if he didn't have a bow in his hand, I feel like he would stare at it creepily. He would stare at it creepily, so he didn't do that. We got our vines right here. Oh, they're attacking. They got our vines right here, so you could go up and down these vines. Up and down. Very cool. Seems simple enough. Let's go down the line. So what do we have as well? We're going here. Basalt. So basalt is a new type of block. You can see this guy right here. Bang. Polished basalt. They come in huge. I haven't been able to find any, but there's actually pillars that will go up from the ground all the way to the top, and that's how you're going to find them. I noticed for the first time today that there's a different version. There's a polished basalt. There's a polished basalt, and then right here is regular basalt, and they have an end. So you can see there's one texture on one end, one texture on the other end. Very simple like that. And yes, so there is new armor, guys. Netherite armor. Netherite helmets. You could see this. Let's go like this. You could see it's got a brown kind of feel to it. We're gonna do this guy right here, and yeah, might as well put the sword in our hand as well. Sword, netherite, tougher than everything else. Long story short, as well, is yeah, it floats in lava. So I think I feel like I missed it. I legit missed it. So supposedly it floats in lava. I've seen it do it on Java Edition. There it is right there. So it's floating in a weird way. You can see it's trying to float in lava and it's still burning. I think they're going to perfect that a little bit moving forward. In addition to that, you can also, so basically when a pigman goes outside of a nether portal, they're going to turn into a zombified piglin. So I'm not sure that we could actually go and show you that, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Netherite. So mining ancient debris. This is going to be ancient debris that we have right here. You're going to need to mine ancient debris. Ancient debris is going to be found right here. So this is what ancient debris looks like right here. You're going to mine ancient debris. You're going to go hunting for it. It's going to be below level 20, basically under lava lakes. It's going to be really, really, really rare and really, really hard to get. You're going to take this and then you're going to smelt this bad boy. You're going to get your netherite scrap, and then you're going to take your netherite scrap and you're going to mix netherite scrap with, actually, let's take the netherite scrap. I guess I probably don't have too much netherite scrap. You're going to take it like this. And then I think you mix 4 and 4. I'm pretty sure that's how you do it. 4. On Java, it didn't matter what pattern they were in. And there you go. And then you got your netherite ingot. Basically, once they do the next update, you're going to take your diamond stuff. You're going to put it in a smithing table. And then you're going to add 1 netherite ingot. It's going to turn it to whatever it is that you want. And again, after a first update, you're going to be able to keep your enchantments. So once all this is done, you're going to feel super good about it. Everything's awesome. The other thing is, yeah, so pretty much we've covered most of, you know, I think at the end of the day, most of this, there isn't really too much. You can make a beacon. You can make a beacon with this. Actually, you know what we're going to do? Let's go ahead and make a pigman on the portal. I hope we actually teleport back here because I'll be sad if we don't. But let's go ahead and just make a portal so you guys can see what the new zombified piglins look like, because I think that they're kind of weird. And yeah, so we'll do this. So basically, if a zombie pigman goes through a nether portal, guess what? They're gonna become a zombified. Oh no, that's okay. Let's go through here. Hopefully it doesn't bring us back to spawn. Please don't. Oh no. I don't think it did. So let's go ahead and let's do this. Let's search right here. So if we just get piglin. So you could get zombified piglin, but we're just going to do piglin because you're going to see that it shakes. I want to show you that it shakes and all that jazz. So you're going to see the piglin shaking. You see it shaking? It's not happy. It runs back in the nether. Long story short, if it does stay out, it will eventually turn to a Bang. And there you go. So I'm not, I don't remember seeing the target block in there. So I have to say, I think the target block will come in a future. I'm pretty sure the target block come next update maybe once they add in. Yeah, target block's not in there just yet. So that will come very, very soon. Wow, so many fish. And yeah, so there was a bunch of bug changes and bug fixes in that sense that were parity fixes. So one of the big ones was those fish spawning and being very bothersome in my opinion as well. Let's go up here. Where is, yeah, there's my station. So blue light is another one we have to look at, guys. Basalt, or not basalt, soul soil. So whenever soul soil is involved, we're going to be able to light soul soil. When you light soul soil with a flint and steel, it's going to turn blue. Not only that, guys, you will be able to make blue lanterns and blue torches with that exact same thing. And yeah, and that's it. Bang. So we know there's a few other things coming in the future. I think at the end of the day, I pretty much went over most of these changes with you. The other parity fix here was, yeah, I think things spin. So now items before, they used to bob like that, but now you can see things spin. See how they spin like that and they bounce up and down. So that's another parity fix that was kind of changed. And guys, enjoy it, play with it. If you don't know how to go in the beta, you guys know the description below holds the key to your success. Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.